What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to my channel, My Life Perspective. One thing that I've perceived and oftentimes have recognized is that we live in a world today where people are either intimidated by someone who's intelligent, or they find it quite bothersome that people don't always think on the same vibration, frequency, or the things that are minute in life, right? And what I'm getting at is that we live in a world today where the more knowledge you gain, the more wisdom you partake or undertake in your life, because you're trying to develop yourself, become a better version of yourself, the more the more likely you're gonna have a small circle of friends. And that's not always a bad thing, but the part I'm getting at is that when you're growing and developing as a man or a woman in our society, you tend to understand, you learn, or you tend to learn that you begin to outgrow people simply because you don't hang on to the same beliefs, you don't hang on to the same norms or cultural values that were once a part of who you were, part of your family, friends, your close work circles, or whatever the case may be. And as you outgrow those people, you start realizing that you want better for your life, you want better in terms of realizing that these same people aren't going to bring those same things to you. So while it may be a blessing um, and a curse, or it may be a blessing to have that knowledge, it's also a curse because you realize some of the same people that you grew up with, same with some of the same people that you called friends, family for a long time, they don't want to grow with you, right? So then you start realizing that they cut themselves out of your life, and they start moving away from you. They stop calling you. They stop checking upon you. And I'm here to say that's not always a bad thing that people remove themselves from their lives, because at the end of the day, as a man, as a woman, and as a person in our society, you should always strive to become a better version of you, right? We live in a day and age today where people are threatened simply because you don't have the same beliefs as them, right? What do you mean that you're not a leftist, or you don't believe in partaking in some of the cultural or race norms that we have, right? What do you mean that you think for yourself? You don't just take on what the media, what the masses follow, the trends that are put out there, right? And yesteryears, previous decades, people read, people thought for themselves, people were, well, in my honest opinion, were better educated. Right here we are with phones, technology nowadays, far greater, far more opportunities than what our previous ancestors have always had, and yet people won't take the time to read and educate themselves for the better a lot of times. Not all people, but for those that it applies to, right? And then these are the same people that that won't read and won't educate themselves, that are threatened by someone that did. Who do you think you are? You think you're better than us because you're smart? People get intimidated because of the fact that someone actually take the time to read and educate themselves to better their own thought process, and take the time to process things differently. You know what I'm saying? So when like for example, um, you have certain beliefs within your own family, right? But then you start realizing, or in your own group of people in your community, that some of the things, the beliefs that they've had, are not always right. So you start to open your mind to the world because you've been exposed to more information, right? The old man dies inside, the new man comes alive, and you become a bigger, better version of the new man becomes a greater version of him or herself. Right? The new man is born because now you start to develop characteristics and information that help relegate you to a better sense of reality, of understanding of the world around you. Things aren't always as they seem, right? And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that, right? It's how we grow and evolve as people. And we've gotten to a point in our society today where people don't want to grow. People like hanging on to the norms and values as long as it makes them comfortable. People like comfort. People like what makes them feel at ease, because as long as you don't rock the boat, they don't have nothing to worry about. But the minute you start rocking the boat and going against the grain, doing things that don't benefit them but benefit you because you want better for you yourself, now you're a problem. You want better for yourself. Now you're a problem. Now you're a threat. Now you're a problem because, oh well, now you're outgrowing me and you're supposed to be here. So it becomes a crab in a bucket mentality, right? You're trying to climb out because you see something far greater. Um, when a man becomes more knowledgeable, because he becomes more lonely, because a lot of times as a man, you don't want to hang on to these things or these beliefs, the old way, the old knowledge, the old things that you once thought or once knew was right. You start to challenge those beliefs or that information, and you realize that a lot of people are sheep walking. A lot of people aren't as aware of what's going on around them. They're not paying attention to the signs, the things, the way the world is going. You know what I'm saying? They're caught up with, the latest new device, the latest new iPhone. Being involved with sports, and like, at some point, when do you become informed on what's really going on? Right? When do you become understanding of the world around you and how things are shaped? You know what I'm saying? Because the more informed you are, the better off you be. The more you're not easily controlled. People who are easily controlled are oftentimes in groups, and they think with their emotions. So, in one sense, in one case, a man who becomes more knowledgeable, once becomes more lonely, it's not always a bad thing, because you're not easily controlled. You don't have these things that tie you down, or these people that tie you down to, well, we'll let you go, we'll release you, from our lives, and we'll cut you out. Go ahead and cut me out then. I'd rather be a man that thinks and stands for his own, stands for something, than falls for anything. In today's society, in today's world today, people fall for anything. People don't take the time to question, understand, what's really going on, right? That could be related to politics, sports, music, family, the news, media, so on and so forth, right? And the more you're able to think, to question the beliefs, what you're taught, what you know is true at one sense and point in time, the better off you become, right? The more you're able to grow in your knowledge and your faith, whatever the case may be, the better off you start to understand that not everything needs a reaction, but a response, right? A lot of people react, they don't respond because of what they don't know, right? Not what they do know, because of what they don't know, right? We live in a world today where we're constantly taught what to believe and what to know, mainly what to believe. But you're not taught to challenge those beliefs. You're not taught to challenge what it is that you know, to become a better version of yourself. Not just to become a better version of yourself, but to seek out truth, right? People are afraid of the truth nowadays. You can't tell the truth because people want to make you lose your job and take from you your livelihood, because they don't like the truth. They like comfort. They like the comfortable life. More people are becoming more comfortable, or more people are becoming more accepting of living a comfortable life than an uncomfortable truth. And be honest with you, if you ask me, I'd rather the uncomfortable truth, so that way I can know when and how to respond, and to respond accordingly, or when and how to respond, and how to go about things in a way that's going to help me benefit in the long run. All right. So that is all for today's video. I want to simply just say thank you for watching my video, my content today. And I'll get back at you all with another video. But if you're new and you like my content, you like what it is you're watching, please, by all means, feel free to like, share, and subscribe to my content. And always remember, to be informed is not to be woke. And stay conscious, my friends.